Hello, Scott Gunn here, coming at you live from a beat-up 2010 Toyota. Notice, notice how unimpressive that sounds. If I'd said, "Oh man, I got this El Camino, it's like leaking oil," that'd be impressive. A Toyota. Um, anyway, I have a question. When gasoline hit $3 a gallon, how many of you went to YouTube and actually looked up what those octane readings mean? I did. And let's see, spoiler alert. Look up in your manual what the minimum rating is and never go a millimeter over that. And then you'll be fine. Okay. So I finished up the Operation Rhine scenario in Atlantic Chase there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put Atlantic Chase away for a little while. So I don't burn out. I still love it, of course. I don't want to burn out on it though. And I think people watching would burn out as well. So I'm kind of on the fence about what I want to do next. And I was mulling it over, and I think one idea was some more of the Storm Above the Reich, which I didn't really get to play a whole lot. It's a really neat game. I was a little worried. Okay, I just did Atlantic Chase by Jeremy White, and this is Storm Above the Reich by Jeremy White. It's turning into the Jeremy White channel. But then again, I thought, he's killing it. So what? He's got great designs. Let's go ahead and do it. I might do that. And the other one was I might want to. I'm thinking about breaking out Empire of the Sun, just because I was getting all into the Burma announcement, the Mark Herman thing. I'll get a little into that here in a minute, and which is bigger commitment. And I got to figure out. And another option I was thinking of, what if I ran them concurrently, just kind of alternated between the two? I don't know if I have enough space to keep two of those games running. They both got pretty big footprints. Especially Storm Above the Reich. That's got a big footprint. All those blocks, and it's like, I might go make a little counter version of this thing. You can shrink it down to put it all in a tin of Altoids if you thought about it. And Empire of the Sun. That I abused Pericles, the Peloponnesian War, something fierce when I went blow to blow, blow by blow for that 10-turn game, which was just too much, I think, for videos. It's helping me learn how to do videos and how to talk and things like that. But a blow by blow of Empire of the Sun, it sounds absolutely outrageous, and I don't think I would do that. And one thought I had was, if I were to do something like that, is a lot of guys do after action reports. I don't actually like those too much. Okay, says, oh well, this happened and this happened, and it's like, well, okay, that happened. That's not interesting. So somehow to play the game and then cut in when something really interesting is happening, like a big battle or something like that, but getting rid of all the superfluous stuff, like moving and things like that. The other thought I had is to do something like that and maybe focus on one aspect of the sequence of play as kind of almost a kind of a learning thing, but not showing the entire game, but just cutting in when that part of the sequence of play comes in, and also doing the interesting battles and things like that, and then doing kind of an after action. Okay, we did this and this and this. I'm thinking about that. I might do that. Anyway, so in anticipation of Mark Herman's Burma standalone for Empire of the Sun, I've been reading this. I think I mentioned this before. I did mention this before. I don't know why I say I think. And I'm about to. Mark Herman recommended this, and 2 chapters in, and I'm hooked. He's a good writer, and it's an engaging writer, and that's one of the key elements. What can you say? This is not heavily stat-driven, I would say. So if you're really into war statistics, I'm thinking of Hitler's U-boat war, which I'm reading now, which is just chart after chart after chart. That's not in here. This is more personality-driven, or kind of a biography sketches of guys like Slim and Chiang Kai-shek and all that. And I think Mark Herman, I get that sense from, he's really into kind of historical personalities, great statesmen. That's kind of where he's coming. Now, of course, this all has the details in it. Okay, so this many men were killed and blah, blah, blah. So, it's got the details of the campaign. So it's not pure biography, but it's definitely worthwhile and engaging. And I just had this little section here. I like how he gets into it. He's talking about the retreat of the Japanese from Ramri, and you'll look on YouTube and you'll see these videos about how the Japanese were eaten by crocodile. All of them were eaten by crocodiles. He gets right into it, and I like when historians aren't afraid to get out there and just kind of. He's having none of this. It was a nightmarish scenario because these swamps were essentially acres of thick, impenetrable forest, dark even in the daytime, just miles of deep black mud infested with snakes, mosquitoes, scorpions, and other malign insects. 900 men went into the mangrove swamp, but many were already dying or wounded, and most were suffering from malaria, dysentery, or dehydration. Dysentery, that's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Only about 500 emerged at the other side. The losses were about what one might have expected in such a situation. That was not good enough for the sensationalists and mythmakers who concocted a wild and improbable story that except for 20 men taken prisoner by the British, all the others were killed by crocodiles. It is well known that the best way of telling a lie is to tell the truth, and the story has a certain specious plausibility. For the estuarine or saltwater crocodile, which can attain a length of 20 feet, is both a known man-eater and an opportunistic killer. Many who saw these great saurians, basking on the banks of the Irrawaddy shuddered with horror, and the thought of death by crocodile is one of mankind's abiding nightmares. It is? Do you have nightmares of getting eaten by a crocodile? I don't, but... Well, not yet, now. Oh, come on. So there's a report of it, and kind of how everything went south and how they all got eaten by crocodiles. But then he lays it out. He says, this story, which was solemnly entered as fact in the Guinness Book of Records as the greatest ever human loss to dangerous animals, offends every single canon of historical verifiability. We are told that the observer sitting parked at the edge of the swamp in a motor launch was one Bruce Wright, a naturalist, but diligent research has turned up no trace of him or of the book or journals which this account was written. As in all urban myths, close investigation involves one in a vicious cycle, where one comes back to the same single, unsubstantiated, anonymous, and unverifiable source. So much for provenance. What about internal coherence? Are we seriously to believe that Japanese firepower, which tore such holes in British tanks and armor, was helpless against crocodiles? That none who failed to emerge from the swamp was hit by British strafing fire or bitten by snakes or succumbed to dehydration, and he goes on like that. Sorry about that. I had a terrible cough. Just started coughing uncontrollably there. But that gives you the gist of it. He's not afraid to wade in and tell you how the cow eats the corn. So that's all. Just a little content here today that's going to share with you. So thanks for watching.